Hello, I am pleased to participate in the 5th International and Domestic Integrated Conference of the Future Convergence Technology Research Society. I hope you are all safe and sound. I am Hyo-jin Hwang. I work for Spatial Information Drone Team of the Department of Land Information Gyeonggi Provincial Office. I would like to give a presentation of the trendy analysis of Korea drone studies. Let me start with contents. First, I will introduce the trends of Korean drone studies and the purpose of this study. Secondly, I will explain the research method in terms of the subject, design, and data analysis. Thirdly, I will explain the result based on the gender trend, publishing year trend, method trend, field trend, source trend, and area trend. Lastly, I will propose the conclusion and suggestions through the discussion and conclusion. First, instruction. Over the last 2 years, we have lived through the contact-free, non-face-to-face life for the safety of the society and our one. We have been trying to adapt to the new environment, accepting the new pattern of the life actively along with the changes. We have tried to foster the sense of balance, autonomous technology, and digitalization. Scholars expect that drone will technically drive the fourth industrial revolution. It proves that drones are being broadly applied throughout the private commercial areas beyond the mobility and military use, through the convergence of various industry and technology. Before, more than 90% of the drone applications were for the military use. Now, drones are being used for various purposes, destruction, the market, especially for the commercial use. Recently, drones have started being used mainly for the agricultural fast country use, which is the primary industrial work, being applied to the various areas including construction, measurement, observation, journalism, content creation, spatial information collegation, and educational and environmental monitoring. Drone industry has been reformed through its function of replacing human labor. In public area, moreover, drones are used in the place and work where humans cannot access, giving it quick and broad scalability and excellent effectiveness. Drones have constantly accomplished technical improvement in military, public, private, industrial, and academic area, demonstrating its efficiency. It becoming a new tool to enrich human life even more. Technologies that apply drone provide a new labor environment for humans to improve the quality of life by creating new industry and value. This will be the starting point for the sustainable future that build organic relationship with the environment. While there have been constant studies on drones, not a single study was done. Regarding the trends of the drone research, as drones account for the growing proportion of the overall part of our society drone. Studies have been constantly increasing. I assume that it's necessary to figure out how many drone studies there are, how they are started, and which field of them are studied. This study analyzed the present studies from 2014 to September 30th, 2021. It aims to sum up the research trends of the period and suggest itself as basic data for subsequent studies. Next, the research method. First of all, I selected the research subject. The present study that were finally selected for this study were 349 masters and doctoral theses and 591 journals. Among the Korean theses that are found in lists and the journals published and nominated to be published in KCI and KCI superior journals. The wins with the key was drone and multicopter were selected. There were 744 diseases that were searched by the keywords and 349 of them which have drone and multicopter on the title were selected as subject. 297 master's theses and 52 doctoral theses were selected by the same key was 869 journals were found and 519 one of them which have drone and multicopter on the title was selected. Now let me explain the research design. This study was conducted from 20th March to 31st of October 2021. In March, an expert meeting was held to give feedbacks about the possibility of the study. To analyze the research data, I searched Korean. This is that already started to list by the keywords of the drone and multicopter. Data collecting was connected from 1st April to 30 September 2021. The collected data was analyzed from the October to 20th October 2021, and final aggregation was done by 31 Octobers. The last part of the research method is data analysis. This study analyzes 349 Korean disease and 591 journals by the research gender, the year that they were published, research method, research field, the institution that granted the degree, and the area where it started. I presented the frequency by the real numbers and percentage and the result by tables and graph. Suddenly, let me tell you result. The result for the int 6 category. First of them is gender trend. This study covered 349 theses, 297 of them are master's theses and 52 of them doctoral theses. There was a person who received both the master's and doctoral degree in drone, and that person was counted as a male researcher. Therefore, there were 348 researchers. I sorters of the gender of the research who wrote the 591 theses and journals, and there are 5 times more male researchers than female researchers. Let us move on to publishing year trends. I look up the trends of the masters and doctoral theses by the year they were published. In 2014, there were 2 master's theses and doctoral theses. In 2016, it started to increase to 13 master's theses and 2 doctoral theses. In 2017, June studies started to be animated and threefold. With 41 master's theses and 6 doctoral theses. Journals also have increased starting from 5 in 2014 to 33 in 2016. 2. Figure out the method trends. I inquired into how the master's and doctoral theses were started. As a result of classifying them by the research method, master's theses were classified under of the quantitative study, literature study, mixed study, and qualitative study, while the first one being the most. Doctoral theses were classified in order of quantitative study, literature study, qualitative study, and mixed study. Journals were classified in order of quantitative study, literature study, mixed study, and qualitative studies. Then I analyzed the research method by period. The years of 2014 to 2016 are FoCoS 1, 2017 to 2019 are FoCoS 2, and 2022, 2021 is FoCoS 3. As a result of the analyzing the research method by its pace, I figured out that ever since 2014, when the journal started, the most of diseases were connected quantitatively. For the field trends, I check up the keywords of technology, application, administration, institution, and others of the disease and journals. Those were the keyword on which the most research was published among the disease and journals over the research period of this study. Based on the keyword, I analyzed each field by breaking them down. The most active research field of disease was in order of technology, application, administration, institution, and other. The result for the journals was the same. It showed that the technology, including development, design, and the control of drone is the field which the most research is conducted. To study the source trend, I analyzed the source of the disease and journals separately, and then I listed the institutions that granted the disease. The result showed that 76 universities granted the master's degrees to the drone researchers. Korean Aerospace University produced the most master 20 theses being published. For the doctoral, this is 36 university granted doctorate degree 250 thesis. 경기, 세종, 한서 University granted 3 theses each. And journal source trends total 233 academic society published 591 journals. Let's move on to research area. I analyzed the area where master thesis the studies and found out the 115 of them were studied in Seoul. 71 from Gyeonggi, Incheon, 54 were from Gyeongsang, 31 from Chungcheong, 20 were from Jeolla, 60 were from Gangwon, and 1 from Jeju. 17 doctoral thesis studies in Seoul, 30 were from Gyeonggi, Incheon, 9 were from Chungcheong, 7 were from Gyeonggi, Gyeongsang, 5 were from Jeolla, and 1 from Gangwon. Seoul was the area that produced the most masters and doctoral theses. For the journals, 165 of them studied Seoul, 129 were from Chungcheong, 150 were from Gyeongsang, 101 were from Gyeonggi, Incheon, 63 were from Jeolla, 14 were from Gangwon, and 4 from others. Seoul was again the area that produced the most journals. Chungcheong was another area that drone studies are connected actively. Finally, discussion and conclusion. This study is trend analysis method and doctoral thesis and journals of Korean drone studies. From 2014 to September 2021, 290 master's thesis and 52 doctoral. This is totaling 349 theses were published. There were 519 journals. There were 5 times more male research than female researchers. It suggests that male researchers show more interested in the since the drone first applied in military area and now construction, firefighting, and logistics, where most of the field users are men. As for the research method, researchers prefer to conduct quantitative study. Since there are many units, quantitative study may be appropriate to draw a conclusion from test and experience. Qualitative study and literature study were being conducted actively along with the quantitative study. It implies that the drone studies are being bolstered as time goes by, in line with changes and demands of the society. Due to COVID-19, this is an age of social distancing and contact-free lifestyle. It also calls for the needs and desires for safety. The advanced technology of the drones and its convergent AI technology innovation provide benefit of the convenience, accuracy, and safety in various areas. Therefore, there have been growing studies in various fields to improve the quality of human life by using drones, especially drones applied to the public field can be a protection against disease and threats. It is predictable that drones will surely replace human life while they are entering into the commercial market rapidly. It suggests that it is necessary to conduct constant subsequent studies on not just trend analysis of the entire industry, but also the need for technology and the work point of the drones. In conclusion, the trend analysis of this study proves that drone studies are growing every year. Hopefully, this study will serve as basic data for subsequent study, and I will look forward to seeing many more drone studies in practical fields such as drone education system and safety regulations. Thank you for your attention. Bye.